Hello there. This is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me today. This is the card that we'll be making, and there is a close-up. You know what's coming next. Yep, the side view. We are going to be using a sentiment out of a new stamp set called Beautiful Friendship, and it's right there. And I love this set. Love it. I wanted to use it so bad, but check out those images. They're distinctive and they go down beautifully. And you know, I've got this thing for that kind of texturized stamp. So I'm going to show you what I wanted to do, but it didn't work out. So I die cut those images out of Lovely Lipstick, Coastal Cabana, and Crushed Curry. And like I said, it didn't work because I needed the flowers from Colorful Seasons with the dies. There's 3 different flowers in there. And my leaves are from Forever Lovely. Now, Forever Lovely and the Beautiful Friendship, they're both distinctive. The Colorful Seasons is not. And those are stitch shapes. So I'll yak more later on. Grapefruit Grove, Highland Heather, and So Saffron are our colors. I have a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock there. I lay down some wax paper. I have the 2 largest stitch circles, and I'm lining the smaller one up inside a larger one so I get an even border all the way around. And it's slight that you can see, but when it comes out, it's going to be much larger, as you saw earlier. So I'm dragging in the Big Shot. My calibration's tight. And I put in the wax paper. It helps me. When you have a die cut with stitching, it can be fussy. It can be tricky. And I think that you're feeling me here when I say that, because it's difficult to articulate, but I'm not struggling to get that die out. And since I did use the thick, it's not getting all bendy on me, because I did try the regular before. So A2 size top folding. I have a different measurement for what's going to be our image panel. I cut it down from A2 3/16 of an inch. And you'll see when I place it on top how it looks, but I wanted something a little bit different. So I added Tombow Mono to the back of my circle, grab the tweezers, put it to, you know, close to the top third of the card. Bringing in the Stamparatus, now there is a new product here, and it is that Deluxe Mat. And it's fantastic for using your photopolymer stamps. And I use it on my desk without the Stamparatus. I have mine out all the time anyway, to tell you the truth. Is how I work, not on a video. So I'm placing my sentiment in there, pull the lid off, making sure it's okay. And then it was too in the middle for me, and instead of getting on top of it while I'm on video, I took it off to the side so you wouldn't see me. And it's still too high, so I end up pulling the cardstock down just a little bit. Or no, the sentiment was too low, so I pulled the cardstock down to have it go up rather than change everything. I use the Stamparatus for sentiments just in case I have to stamp it again or I don't like it. This time I didn't have to do it, which is a never for me because I like rich sentiments. So now I have the Stamparatus mat in, and I'm bringing in Grapefruit Grove, and I'm stamping out the flowers from Lovely Flowers. And I'm going to do that several times. Then I'm going to take Highland Heather and So Saffron and all 3 of those flowers from Colorful Seasons and just stamp out a ton of them. And I'm going to keep going. And instead of boring you like this, because you've seen me do this a million times before, just laying down the images. And again, I lay them down the same way every single time. So that way when I put the die cut down, which is not going to work for me later on in the video in one of them, because it was the first time I laid it down, so yay me. That way when I move the die cut down the line, I just have to move it. I don't have to twist and turn it to see where it lines up every second. Now I've brought the big shot in, and I am going to grab our dies, put them over the images, and as you know, I interchange the terms all the time. The die cuts from Beautiful Friendship, there's no dies there, I fussy cut them. I have everything cut out now. There's our image panel. That's how I line up Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of a large panel. I put my thumbnail into the back of it, and then that liner just falls right off, which is great. So I did the 3/16 of an inch that we talked about earlier, and you can tell the difference in the border, and it's just nice to have something different. So with these flowers, I'm going to do them the exact same way I normally do with large flowers. I have a Stampin' Dimensional on the back, and a full-size one will fit on this. And then I will use glue dots for the two smaller flowers. I am tucking in our leaves, Stampin' Grapefruit Grove. Behind the Highland Heather flower, I'm going to do the exact same thing with the So Saffron, and then we'll come back with everything completed and maybe get this done. There we are. I have those little pearl gemstones. I'm putting a medium-sized one in the middle of the large flower, and in the little flowers, I'm putting the little baby ones that you see at the top left there. And in the bottom Highland Heather, we are going to use some twine. I'm just going to tie a bow, and you'll see me put a glue dot on the flower and everything like that. But this card would look really good with a craft frame, and you can use any of our die cuts, any shapes, hearts, anything like that. So I'm just wrapping that in a bow. And twine can give you grief, as you know, and it's looking pretty good. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna lay it down and not move a thing and just cut it off, and it all worked out, because you know how it can go. So there we go. If we got some subtle background stamps, like one with a wood grain that we have, a triangle one, and stamped it off several times in So Saffron, that'd be gorgeous. So would that stamp there, just to add a little bit more texture. And that's simple stamping too. So there's options, and we can change those colors out to be anything that we want. And back to, we have ovals and there's circles. You could even use the frame to a new truck ride die that we have coming out. That is going to be our prize this week. Another wonderful year. I had a couple of those. Susan, shoot me off an email. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. God bless and have a fantastic weekend. Please leave a comment for this week's prize and hit like and subscribe.